Hey friends, welcome back to another wellness update. The last one I gave was 2 weeks ago, and it has been a pretty rough 2 weeks since then. So I need to give you the update. In the update I gave you 2 weeks ago, I let you know that I was seeing some pretty concerning metrics on my Fitbit app. My resting heart rate, my HRV, my breathing rate, things like that, just going in the wrong direction, considering I have been exercising more consistently than I have in a really long time. Things should be moving in a, positive direction, but it was just very clearly moving in the wrong direction. And I told you in that video that I got the advice from Jonathan Shane, who I'm going to be talking about a little more later on in the video. But he was saying, maybe try some carbs. Maybe my body is just too stressed out with being too low carb and adding in all of the exercise and activity that I have been doing. And so I told you in that video that I was going to try to do that, add in carbs on my exercise days, after working out, like 30 to 40 grams of whole food, healthy carbs after a workout. So very shortly after I made that video 2 weeks ago, I got hit with some major symptoms. And looking back on it, it's kind of like a frog, that terrible analogy of a frog in a pot of water, and it slowly heats up to boil the frog and the frog doesn't notice. That's kind of what I think was going on, but the symptoms just hit me kind of like a ton of bricks. And I came to the conclusion that it was probably iron deficiency symptoms hitting me again. So I've been talking about my iron deficiency for like over a year and a half now. Pretty frustrating that I haven't gotten that figured out yet, but still working on it. So the biggest symptom that I started noticing again, same that I've had in the past when my ferritin was really, really low before, and that is extreme heart pounding, just a pounding heart, and then also the heart rate going up. And I had already noticed on the Fitbit the heart rate going up, but then I started really feeling there's kind of two separate symptoms that I notice: the fast heart rate and then just the pounding, where I can always feel it. I can hear it in my ears, like a whooshing in my ears, and kind of always feel it. So that hit me really, really strong. And I also was, watching the metrics on the Fitbit, and my heart rate, my resting heart rate, just has continued to go up and up and up. And when I made the connection that it was probably the iron deficiency symptoms, I went and got my ferritin tested again, because I've been, updating you on all of that. And I had my ferritin drop again a few months ago. And I told you in a video, a few months ago, what I was going to do to try to see if I could help that. And so I added back some supplements that I had cut out because I thought, maybe I didn't need them anymore, but apparently I did. And so I added supplements back. And then for 2 months, I waited and got my ferritin tested again. And I was excited to see that it had gone up 7 points. So it went from 20 to 27 in 2 months. So then as I started noticing these symptoms again, I was like, I should just get it tested again just to see where I'm at. So I went in and got my ferritin tested after just 1 month. So went up 7 points in 2 months. I got my ferritin tested and found that it had gone down 6 points in 1 month. So needless to say, I was super discouraged because I was like, only 7 points in 2 months. Of course, we want to see numbers go faster than that, but I was like, it's okay. At least it's going in the right direction. So to see it drop down again in just 1 month, I was pretty discouraged. So I was pretty confident that the symptoms I was seeing was the iron deficiency coming back. And it is really interesting how there's not just a set number of ferritin where you see a certain symptom, because I had been at around 20 for my ferritin number for about 3 months, because it had dropped down to 20, went up to 27, then back down to 21. And so for about 3 months, I was around the same range, and I didn't start seeing those symptoms come back for a couple of months. So the symptoms can, just kind of hit you all at once. And that is what I experienced. So I was discouraged that the supplementation strategy that I had been working on for the past, 6 to 8 months, hasn't fixed my problems. I do think that it has helped. I've seen certain benefit to taking the different minerals and things that I have added, but I decided that I can't live like this. With the rapid heart rate and the pounding heart, it just felt like I could never get my body to relax. And so it's extremely frustrating. I describe it kind of like tinnitus or something like that, where it's just like this constant thing that you can't stop. And so when I lay down to go to sleep at night, like my heart is just pounding, feel like I just run a sprint or something when I'm trying to relax. And that is extremely difficult to deal with, as well as it affecting my sleep, obviously. So I was dealing with all of that, and it was just like, I can't handle these symptoms. I need to do something right away to get out of this hole. So I made the decision to go in for a series of iron infusions. I have had several iron infusions in the past, and I've kind of detailed my experience with all of those. I had hoped that doing all these other things with these other minerals and things, it would fix my iron problems. That was what was, promised from the people that are promoting these different things. And it's like, if you do these, it'll fix your iron problems. And I was like, I'm going to be all in on this. I'm going to do it. And like I said, I do think it did help in certain ways, but it hasn't been the complete picture for me in getting my iron to a good place. So I felt pretty defeated, feeling like I needed to go in and get the iron infusions, but I decided I just have to do it in order to continue to function. And the high heart rate was really starting to concern me. So I went in for a series of 4 iron infusions, and they say that each infusion should raise your ferritin about 20 points when everything kind of levels out. And so I got 4, so I should be somewhere around 100 since I started at 20. But I can't go and get tested until like 4 or 5 weeks after the last infusion. And the last infusion was just a couple of days ago. So I'm really, really hoping that the infusions are going to that's the issue behind the heart rate. Because like I said, my heart rate has continued to climb. It has not gone down yet. So I've had the 4 iron infusions. I had them over 2 weeks. Like I said, the last one was a couple of days ago, and I haven't seen my heart rate come down yet. So of course, I want to see results immediately from the infusions, but in reality, the infusions usually take 2 to 4, sometimes more weeks to really feel the full effect. I guess it just takes a little time for the iron just to get to all the places and for you to start feeling the effects of being full, topped off on iron again. So I'm hoping that in the next few weeks, my heart rate will start coming down, and it's not something else. It seems to make the most sense that it is the iron deficiency, because my numbers did drop, and these are symptoms that I did have previously, that getting the iron infusion and getting my iron back up did help. So I'm still really hopeful, but I'm like kind of on the edge of my seat, waiting to see it actually happen, because like I said, my heart rate has continued to go up, and up as high as 97, my resting heart rate at 97 beats per minute, which is not good. And of course, YouTube is showing me all these videos of, heart rate equals mortality and like all this stuff, and it's not good to have your heart rate in the 90s. And so I really want to see it start going down. So that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Through all of this, I have worked with different people, my doctor and others, trying to, figure out what I need to do to be my healthiest and live my best life. But for the most part, I have been my own health advocate, trying to piece things together and trying to figure out what I need to do to be as healthy as possible. And I do think I've had a lot of victories. I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of positive steps, but then at the same time, I've just had some things that haven't been able to figure out on my own. So I have actually decided to start working with Jonathan Shane more in depth. I have had him on the channel a couple of times and always get great info from him. He's super smart, and he's given me some advice about, my health issues kind of on a surface level, but I have decided to go ahead and go through his metabolic health program. That's one of the programs he offers. And I kind of see it as outsourcing all of this work that I have been doing, trying to figure everything out and decide what I need to do. I'm going to let him tell me what to do. And honestly, that is a huge weight off of my shoulders, and just letting him use his expertise, tools that I don't have, and see if he's able to help me get to the bottom of some of these issues. So I am really, really excited about this, and we are going to share all the nitty gritty of the coaching program that I'm going to be going through. We're going to be recording the weekly sessions and sharing that here on the channel. So I'm hoping that it will give everyone a good peek at what it's like like behind the scenes getting coached, so you can decide if it's something that would be of value to you. I do really appreciate Jonathan's balanced approach to nutrition and to fitness, and I'm just really excited to see what we can figure out together, and if we can get to the bottom of some of these things. So definitely stay tuned for that. It should be like, I'm thinking that the sessions that we're doing will probably replace my weekly wellness updates, or they will be my weekly wellness updates for a little while. The program is 90 days, so we're going to do the 90 days. I'm going to be running my 10K in that 90 days. So he's going to help me get ready for that. There's going to be like macros involved and blood work, looking at different numbers. And I'm just excited about all of it. So hopefully you guys are too, and will tune in for that. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for my wellness update. It's been a rough couple of weeks. I'm hoping that I'm coming out of it. Today, I actually feel better than I did yesterday, and so I'm hoping that I'm the iron is getting to all the places, and that I'm on the mend. So thank you for hanging out with me. I'm excited about what's coming. I hope you guys are too, and I will see you again in the next video.